doing? Are you doing good? You look good. Okay, I wanted to do a video, yeah, share my experience in Giverny, because I was talking about it in my last video, so I thought I should probably explain myself. I'm in a very weird mood today. Maybe you know about this. Maybe that makes sense to you. It's Monet, bitch. I'm a lucky bastard, and I work for a company that does guided tours in and around Paris. Like, I'm not really a Monet girly. I mean, I have become one, but I wasn't before. I didn't really understand, like, what was, like, why it was so interesting. I didn't really get it. Alas. Last time I went on a tour, I met up with these American ladies. Oh, I cannot remember the names of it all, but like shout out to you gals. So people often in Europe like to mock Americans or like to like make fun of them or say negative things about them, but they're like the nicest people here in Europe, at least in France. Like French people are nice once you get to know them, but Americans are nice, you know, from the get-go. They're like open books, especially for us Europeans. I think we're quite good at being like calculated about it. We kind of can tell what kind of people they are before they even start talking, right? So, yeah, I really enjoy speaking to Americans. I really like Americans. Okay, let me set the scene. So we're in the van. There's like 3 different rows, like 2 people, 2 people, and 3 people. We're driving in this like small, like cute van, and to my left, I see like canola fields. You know, like the plant they make, or yeah, the crop they make canola oil out of, which is like bright yellow. And then to my other side, I've got like a small, like cute little French town, like think Beauty and the Beast, like there must be more than this provincial town. So like when you drive through a small French village, it's actually so strange because you're driving, especially coming from Paris, you're driving, and then suddenly you're in like, I don't know, the 1700s. It literally feels like you enter a portal and everything is old and beautiful and romantic, and there's like stone and small narrow streets and no people. Ghost towns, like no people are outside, but yeah, so you're driving, and then you enter Giverny, and it's like a cute little town. It's like the other French towns were really lovely, but Giverny is just like divine, idyllic, and there's like crawling plants and like flowers, and yeah, it's very like romantic. It's definitely like feels like the whole town took on the aesthetic of Claude Monet. And if you don't know, Giverny is like located in a valley, you know, or at least I think it is. I'll look that up. It really was like giving me valley vibes. I mean, you had like the town situated like sort of down, and there was this like, maybe I'm making all this up. I feel like I'm making it all up as I go. There's like this like mountainish looking thing. And then we go to enter the actual gardens. So to get to the actual gardens, you go through this little like walkway. So there's like walls on either side, like stone walls. And then there's like the trees with like the branches coming in from above, like bent over. It's very beautiful. Then you get to the entrance, and there's this big map showing you like, this is the lily pad, and this is the house, and this is the blah blah blah, and you can go here, and we're all entering. Us from we're with the group, we're like Americans, and then there's me, and then I think there was a couple from like Portugal, and then beside us is this like big group of like Japanese students who are all visiting from Japan. Super cute. They had like all their Japanese like. I mean, I feel like we definitely like. It's funny because Japan is on the other side of the world, but I feel like Japanese people and Europeans kind of are a little bit similar in some ways. Especially when it comes to clothes, but they still are just a little bit more stylish than we are. We were there at 8 a.m. and there were already a lot of people. I can't imagine what it's like later in the day. I feel like we went at a really good time. Like it was the start of spring. Not too many people in Paris or in France as tourists. We got to like have a moment. You know, we got to have a kiki. We got to have a moment of peace. When to get to the actual gardens, you go like there's like stairs that take you like not sure what that's called. There's like an underpass. An underpass, that's what it's called. There's an underpass to get through, and then you like and okay, as someone who had no like I did not know anything about Monet. I didn't know what his inspiration was. I didn't really know who he was. Like I heard the term Monet before and I assumed it was just like I knew it was like impressionism, you know, like but I didn't really know the full story. I'm walking along this small path and there's like flowers on either side of the path, like beautifully like arranged and planted and everything in all these different colors. Like I said, we came at a really good time. The wisterias were in bloom, all the flowers, despite not having like sunshine, it was really beautiful. I'm seeing bamboo and I'm like, huh. And there's this little boat, which I don't think was like operational. I don't think it was functional. I think it was purely an aesthetic boat. It was really cool, but I was like, what's this about? Because I didn't know anything. We're walking down this path with the boat, and there's like a little bridge, and the boat like looks like it could go underneath, but like we don't know. Is it like we can sit in the boat? What's the situation here? You direct your view from the boat to the wisterias, and there's this little, like I said, this little bridge that has wisteria like wrapped around the, what do you call it? The railing. Is it a railing? I don't know. Anyway, there's like flowers wrapped around the railing or whatever it's called, and blooming and beautiful, and there's the wisterias coming up from above, like hanging over us as well, because there's like this structure that holds the plants over you. And like I said, we came at the perfect time. There was nobody there, 0 people other than us and the Japanese students. So we're all like, oh my god, we have to get a selfie up there, we have to get a picture. And our guide is like, hand me your stuff and I'll sort you out. And everyone's like going up on the bridge and like looking cute, like getting the picture taken, and then like running down so that the next person can go up and get their picture taken by the guide. And it's like it's so beautiful. I am very happy that I got to have a picture like that with nobody else standing next to me in the background. Like it was really like a perfect situation. So yeah, anyway, we all get our picture taken, and then we cross the bridge and we head over to this like little bench area, and our guide starts telling us about Monet and about what's all this about, what's Monet's garden all about. She's telling us that Monet was like very inspired by Japanese art and culture, and that's why he, like, if you look at some of his paintings and even in his house, you can see like the Japanese, like with the bamboo and the flowers and the things that he liked to have in his house. There were definitely like Japanese inspirations there. And I think also probably like the simplicity of Japanese art. It's like it's not, I'm not saying that it's like simple, I'm saying it's like elegant in a way. It's like you don't need to be busy looking at it, but it's like everything is like made with like intention. You know what I mean? Like a line is not just a line, it's like an intentional line. There's like a thought behind it. Why do we put the line there? How do we paint it? You know what I mean? The garden was like Monet's Pinterest board, in a way. Because he had all these ideas, he had all these inspirations, and he needed like a canvas kind of, I guess. And he used his garden, so he was really into flowers and like colors. And what they told us was that the way that he arranged the garden was like he was thinking of the garden as a picture, and he was like, I'm gonna paint with the flowers. I'm gonna paint with the flowers, and that's why he was like, I need to like, this needs to be so extra. This needs to be exactly how I want it. I'm not gonna compromise. So he hired like 3 or 4 different gardeners, and they all just worked like all year round, making sure this garden looked beautiful. There's a difference between a French garden and an English garden. If you go to Versailles or any Baroque garden, you'll see that all of the natural elements take on like a very human-made shape. So the trees are never just like trees, they're always like rounded or like square or like triangles, like this, like all the plants, bushes, trees, all the way down to like the way the garden is like pathed, if that makes sense, all the way down to like the way it's arranged is like not naturalistic. It's obviously something that humans put thought behind to say this looks nice. This is not just with nature, by the way. During this time, I'm thinking of Baroque Renaissance. There was this like obsession with divinity and having things that are not usually perfect be perfect. It was all made with the intention to like imitate something that God would make, because God makes things perfect and they wanted things to be perfect. And this was like kind of an antithesis or like a rebellion against that. Straight lines, unnatural shapes, squares and perfectly sphere things, and like an English garden is like the opposite. So English gardens are also obviously like kind of designed a little bit to be practical for people to use, but in English gardens the plants get to do what they want to do. If they want to grow a little bit wonky, they get to grow a little bit wonky. So they're like opposites in that way, and you can kind of like see that in Monet's garden, because Monet preferred something like an English garden. He liked for the plants to just like sprawl. But then at the same time, he did have that like intention of like, I'm gonna paint with the flowers. And it's very interesting to see how obviously the flowers are thriving. They're thriving where they're growing. But there's a lot of intention behind how the colors are put together. So there's a pond, and then there's like, I don't know what they call it, but it's like you leave the pond area, which is very big, and then you enter the other garden, which is closer to Monet's house, and also a quite different like constellation. So here the flowers are in like rows. They're also color coordinated in a way. I took pictures like capturing only like the flower heads, if that makes sense. You know, and he had like chickens. There's like a chicken coop, like 3 different chickens and a male chicken, or what's that called? Like also this like long pathway where the flowers are like growing over, I think. I can't remember anything. It's like those people that went to the Taylor Swift concert and can't remember anything. I'm like so stunned I can't remember anything that happened. And Monet's house is stunning as well and beautifully designed. And the first room you enter is like so many famous paintings from not just Monet but other French painters were displayed in the room. It was like kind of strange to be standing next to the original, you know, next to the one that he like worked on, and was like, how am I gonna do this? It's kind of weird to stand there, especially because they're so like famous, you know. It's kind of special. It's like kind of small, like narrow. It's compact, but it feels real. It feels like someone's still living there. And you know how in some like historical homes, the bed, like when you see the bed, it's like, for example, at Versailles, you can't really touch anything. Well, at Monet's house, yeah, you can like touch things. You can like touch his desk, touch his chair, touch his bed, which was like felt a little bit wrong actually. Oh my god, and the windows and the way the natural light hit, so beautiful. Definitely made me be like, cottagecore is so okay. I so respect cottagecore now. I want to be a cottagecore girly after this. I really feel like Monet was probably one of the, well, Marie Antoinette was the original cottagecore girly, but Monet's definitely up there. Do you feel me? It was truly a French house, a truly French experience of a house, and I can't say that in any other way. That's the best way for me to explain it. Colors, but with restraint and with intention, and that's what I'm really taking away from seeing the house. And obviously Monet's kitchen is really famous because it's a yellow kitchen, and like I've seen bad yellow kitchens. I've seen yellow kitchens that are like so tacky, and when I heard it was a yellow kitchen, I was like a little bit worried. I was like, am I gonna hate this and then have to shit on Monet? I don't want to do that. But surprisingly, it's like so beautiful. Like the kitchen is so elegant and beautiful, and I actually, do you see this shit? Anyway, to finish off, I want to talk about the gift shop, because I've been super passionate about gift shops. In my last video, I was at the Tim Burton's Labyrinth, which I'll also link somewhere, and I was talking about the gift shop at Tim Burton's Labyrinth, which was fine, not great. I did get a cute little tote that I've been using every day ever since, but the gift shop in Cheverny, girl, that was next level. I was like, for a moment, I like forgot I was poor. I don't think I'm over it. I think I want to go back just for the gift shop. There was this like beautiful little like tea set. Well, not a set. It was a mug, like a teacup, and then like a tea, like an under cup. So beautiful. It reminded me of Brandy Melville. I unfortunately, I wonder if there's any. Brandy needs to stop. Yeah. So there's like this teacup and like with the little like undercup, which costs like 86 euro. And for me, for like a good 20 minutes, I was like, what the fuck, should I just do it? Like, should I just do it? But then I was like, for one teacup, for just one, it's not even a set, it's not even two, it's not even like a set, it's like, so one teacup. Are you sure that that is like what you want to do? And like I ended up not buying it, you know, but now I kind of regret. Paintings you could get like prints for like 5 euros, which was such a good price. I got 2. I wish I had gotten like 10 for all of my friends that I don't have. And then there was also t-shirts, like a good array of t-shirts. You know how like sometimes you buy a t-shirt from a gift shop and it's just so boring and it just says like brand name, brand logo. There was some really really good t-shirts in there. cute t-shirts that I would wear in my normal life, cute t-shirts that had paintings on them, cute t-shirts in all sizes, and there was also this like beautiful scarf that I cost like 30 euros, and I was like this close to buying it for my mom. I'm telling you that. And of course, the notebooks. And I haven't used this notebook yet because I just don't want it to go away. I just don't want to like spoil it with my awful writing. I just want it to remain supreme. But yeah, and I kept thinking we should do a picnic. Like that was the vibe like I kept getting. I was like, I need my gingham like picnic cloth, and I need to buy a baguette and some like fancy cheese that I don't like, and grapes, and some like eclairs or something. Like it was definitely like a picnic mood place. Take care, y'all, and thanks for watching.